What is up, YouTube? This is Kyle Cannon for Arguably Georgia Sports, and today we are going to do our second. We are going to be making our second video.
Yes,
today.
second video today. Should we go?
ACC predictions. We're going to go through same thing like we did the SEC. If you didn't see that, we're going to go through. We're going to talk about some of the bigger games. We're going to go through our predicted standings for the end of the year, not the beginning. We're going to go division by division. So Atlantic and Coastal. Should we start? Which one should we start with? Atlantic or Coastal?
Let's start with the Atlantic.
Let's do the Atlantic. The Atlantic is boring.
The Atlantic is better.
No, but yeah, it's better, but it's boring.
That's true.
Nobody wins it besides Clemson and formerly Florida State.
Yep, was Florida State. Rip.
Mm-hmm. Just like 2007, I think the only winners.
All right, we'll start out with Clemson because they're obviously number one, and I think
they go 12-0.
Oh dang!
I think they'll win every game. Well, here's the weird thing. Nobody's ever gone 15-0. It's probably not going to happen. They're going to slip up in one game and lose one they should.
They're either going to lose to A&M, or they're going to lose to Syracuse,
Georgia Tech,
or maybe Georgia Tech. It's kind of hard to lose on an upset.
Here's the thing. Okay,
no, not with the defensive line of Clemson. They're not going to lose to Georgia. No chance. Maybe South Carolina.
Tech kept up with the last.
Maybe Wake. Yeah, but you can't fight the Clemson D-line.
Tech held their offense. That was the weird thing.
I know.
Tech's defense was awful last year.
And they're always awful.
Well, under Ted Roof, yeah. Thank goodness he's gone.
Yeah.
But new defensive coordinator, it's going to be good. Okay, enough about Tech. Let's make our Atlantic predictions while we eat our bagels.
So yeah, sorry about the bagels. We're just really hungry, so don't mind us.
So Clemson, number one, easily. Number two, I have Florida State.
Me too.
All right, cool.
I think Willie Taggart will do decent there, better than most people expect. I think they're just kind of being overlooked this year.
Here's the thing. Like Auburn and the SEC West, they're kind of there by default.
Yeah.
I don't see Wake finishing second.
No.
I don't see NC State finishing second. I think Louisville's going to be
There's nobody else good.
Exactly. So in a way, they're not really better. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, take that back. They're all good. They're all okay. They're all mediocre.
Decent.
I think.
No, they're not decent. They're
everybody but Syracuse made a bowl game last year in this division.
Number three is Wake for me.
Same. I have Wake too.
Dang. All right. Our rankings are actually matching up a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah. So let's look at their Wake from last year. So they went 8-5. They beat Texas A&M in their bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for losing to Duke and barely Florida State, they could have had a 10-win season.
Maybe.
And they barely lost those games.
Yep.
But you look at the games they lost. Georgia Tech.
Hey, if they didn't lose games, they would have been undefeated.
I mean, the games that they should have won, and games by one possession. There was a Georgia Tech game that we went to. They were winning for a lot of that game too. Tech surged in the fourth quarter, and
that was a fun game.
That was a good game. Clemson, they lost 28-14.
Mm-hmm.
Played a pretty close game. Florida State, they lost by 7, like we said. Notre Dame, they lost in the shootout, 48-37.
How did they barely lose to Notre Dame?
They didn't barely lose. It was two possession game, 11-point game.
Yeah. All right, now number 4, NC State for me.
Same.
Dang. All right. I don't think we really need to say much about that.
Decent year last year.
Yeah. Good start.
Started off very well. They lost to South Carolina. Imagine if they'd beaten South Carolina. They would have been a top 10 team at one point.
And they would have had momentum and probably would have done better later in the season.
They got run over by Notre Dame.
Number 5, Boston College.
Same. I mean, they went 7-6 last year.
And we did not talk about this with each other, really.
Here's the thing. Steve Adazio, I think he's a good coach. He's been there 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's made a bowl game, I want to say, like 5 of those years. Yeah, last year, they started out 2-4, and they won 5 of their last 6 games. With big wins, too, like Florida State at Louisville, who was better than they were last year. They destroyed Virginia. They destroyed Florida State, remember, it was 35-3. It was on a Thursday. So, yeah, they're a decent team. Lost their bowl game to Iowa, but yeah, 5th.
Okay, I think our last 2 are going to be different. Mm-hmm. I have Syracuse.
Same. I have Syracuse, too.
Here's the thing.
Not because they're any good.
The last 2 years, Syracuse has beaten a team they shouldn't have. Virginia Tech and Clemson. Was there a 3rd the year before?
I don't think so. Let me pull up their schedule.
He's got the book that knows all.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Before that, so they've gone 4-8, 3 years in a row. They beat Boston College the year before that.
Was that the best win?
But Boston College was 3-9 that year.
Was that their best win?
Other than Central Michigan and Wake, yes.
Okay.
So,
Watch out.
bad.
I think they're going to do something again.
Dino Babers is a terrible coach, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. You thought he was a good coach. Don't lie.
Yeah.
They
Well,
lost to Middle Tennessee
Going
State
to pull off
last
another
year.
upset sometime.
Lost to Middle Tennessee State last year.
Mm.
Got destroyed by Louisville. I think they beat them this year. Which takes us to our next and final. We're exactly matched. We have Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't very good with Lamar Jackson. Now Lamar Jackson's gone. He was their everything. They're nothing now.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be terrible.
He got,
I mean,
like 56 touchdowns, 3,600 yards. You can't.
he carried them.
And that was his worst year.
Exactly.
His better year, this was weird. 2015, he got like 3,500 yards, like 52 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next year, he gets 3,600. He gets like 2,000 rushing yards, and he didn't get the Heisman. And he did better the second year. And I think it was definitely a bigger contribution to his team.
Well, he had less touchdowns. He had more yards. It was barely on each. So he was around
three touchdowns.
Yeah, he was around. He beat his yard mark by like 60 yards too. It wasn't that much. Last year they went 8-5 with him. Year before they went 9-4. Last year they started out well. They beat. You remember that?
So we're both saying Clemson in the ACC championship.
Yes.
So let's go to the Coastal.
Okay, number 1 is obviously Georgia Tech. I'm joking.
Thank you.
I have Virginia Tech.
Okay, this side is going to be completely different. All right.
This is like I said. I'm going to talk about it earlier with him. There's been a different winner of this division the last 5 years. We've had Miami, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Duke, and North Carolina.
Well, yeah, but
And here's the crazy thing. None of them have won the ACC championship. They all lost.
to Clemson and FSU.
So yeah, Miami got blown out by Clemson. Virginia Tech lost to Clemson. North Carolina lost to Clemson. Georgia Tech lost to FSU, and Duke lost to FSU. I think Clemson wins this ACC championship again, no matter who it is.
I'm pulling for Florida State though. I think they could do decent next year. Number 1, Virginia Tech. My number 2 is Miami.
My number 2 is Georgia Tech.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I'm better. I'm optimistic. Yes, I know.
Georgia Tech.
I really think they're gonna.
Georgia Tech cannot beat the turnover chain.
They should. They really should have last year. The turnover chain's not that good.
I mean, it really helped them. Did you see all of the... They were leading in the country in turnovers by far.
Yeah, it helped.
The only team that came close was USC, and they gave up all those turnovers.
Okay, let's see. So the turnover chain helped them beat Bethune-Cookman, Arkansas State, Toledo, Duke, a bad Florida State team, Syracuse, North Carolina, and Virginia.
Yep. Oh,
And
not to mention Notre Dame and Virginia Tech, who they demolished. And
Let's see. Beat by one position.
if they played like the Notre Dame game every week, I would not pick a team in the country over them.
But they didn't.
I would pick them
And they're
to beat the Browns.
Well, then you're just stupid. The Browns are all all-star caliber.
I don't dare.
Players. Every single one of the Browns, every single player in the NFL was great in college.
I know.
You're stupid if you think they would actually beat the Browns. I mean, you can say Alabama. I said maybe that's an argument, but Miami.
No, I would say
Miami.
I would pick Miami to beat Alabama that year.
You got Miami. The Browns got Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon. They're about to have Des Bryant.
Well, now they have Baker
got
Mayfield and Nick Chubb.
Exactly. I mean, Baker Mayfield's not even good enough to start on the Browns. Tyrod Taylor's going to start. And that's the thing.
because he's a rookie.
I mean, yeah, but Tyrod Taylor is a proven winner, too. Just saying. But this is not an NFL podcast or show, so move on. Yeah, I have Tech winning that game.
Ridiculous.
I think they're going to lose to Virginia Tech.
For sure.
And
Okay, Tech
even
is,
Uncle Lou on this platform, who is one of the most biased.
why are you
UGA
talking
fans,
about Uncle Lou?
has Georgia Tech beating Miami.
I don't care what he says. He's not a reliable source.
It's interesting. I'm a Georgia fan.
Well, just because he's a Georgia man doesn't mean he's reliable. No.
You've never seen any of his videos.
Okay.
This world.
So they're playing ALCN.
Alcorn State.
They're gonna win that. USF potentially lose.
They're gonna win that game.
even though they don't have.
Quentin Flowers
Flowers.
got.
They're gonna lose to.
I think they're gonna lose to Pitt. You're crazy.
No, they're gonna lose to Clemson. Maybe Pitt.
Yes.
Potentially.
Okay, they're gonna lose to Clemson. I'll give you that. They're gonna beat Bowling Green. They're gonna beat Louisville.
Maybe lose to Louisville.
You have Louisville last in the Atlantic.
Probably lose to Duke.
How? Duke?
Definitely lose to Virginia Tech.
All right, I'm gonna give you a loss.
Definitely lose to Miami.
No.
Definitely
No.
lose to Georgia.
No. Okay, you're crazy. You think they're gonna lose to Duke again? No.
Okay. I have 4 guaranteed losses. We got Clemson.
Okay.
We got Virginia Tech. We got Miami and Georgia. 4 guaranteed losses.
I give you 2 games. I think I'm not gonna pick the Georgia game. I give you 2 games. I think that they probably will lose, and that's I think they definitely lose to Clemson, and I think they probably lose to Virginia Tech, and that's why I have them second in the division. I think they can beat Miami. Miami's not that good. They're not. Rozier is a mediocre quarterback.
They weren't last year.
Rozier's good.
They weren't last year.
What makes
they have a decent. He's had another year to develop. He wasn't that bad.
No, you have another year of him. He's stayed for another year because nobody in the NFL wants him. That's why. That's why he's back another year. It's not to develop.
No,
because he can.
No, I'm saying he's been able to come back, and now he's a senior. He's going to be better than he was last year.
Let's look at his stats.
They're going to be better as a team than they were last year. They've had another year to develop as a team. Mark Richt has had another year to get his influence over the players. I think it's going to be a great year.
All right, let's see.
I think they're going to be a better... Okay, here's the thing. They're going to be a better team than they were last year, but they might not have as many wins.
Here's the thing. They're like all-American running back Mark Walton is gone too.
Okay.
Exactly. They're not going to have as many wins. They won 10 games last year.
I'm saying they're going to be a better team than they were last year, but they might not have as many wins.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Let's look at their schedule.
How much better? Okay, yes, that's a good idea. I'm looking at it right now. So you play LSU. I think they win that game.
Beat LSU.
LSU's a bad team. Savannah State.
Beat Savannah State. Beat Toledo.
They
beat FIU.
They
beat UNC.
They should beat UNC.
Maybe lose to FSU, but probably not.
I don't know about that one.
Beat
We'll
FSU.
see about FSU.
But if you look at this, okay. Even now, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if you count Virginia and Boston College and Duke and Georgia Tech.
I don't count those.
So they're probably going to go 11-1.
Those are bad teams.
They're probably going to go 11-1.
I think that's their. This is their.
They're going to lose to Virginia Tech. They're going to go 11-1.
They got an easy schedule, which is why I think that Tech's going to surprise them. Tech is one of the better teams on their schedule. You can't deny that.
I mean, there's Georgia Tech. There's LSU. There's FSU.
LSU's bad.
There's Virginia
I
Tech.
said one of the better. They're better than North Carolina, better than FIU, better than Toledo, better than Savannah State, better than Boston College, better than Virginia, better than Pitt, better than Duke. There you go.
They're not better than Florida State.
All right, let's move on. But we'll see when this game comes up, and these records could completely change our predictions. Just saying. Like, what if Miami loses some games that they shouldn't, and they're like 5-3 going into this game, and maybe Tech is riding high off a big win or something? We'll see. Okay. Or it could be completely different. That was just an example. There's so many scenarios.
Tech's not the team for a big upset.
We win one game we're not supposed to every year. You don't remember Florida State?
Every team wins and loses a game they're not supposed to every year.
That's not.
Unless you're at the top.
Or at the very bottom.
Then you don't win it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about that. Okay, let's look at like
you look at LSU,
schedule.
they beat all. They were supposed to
One game what was one game that North Carolina was not supposed to win was not supposed to lose last year? I don't know. They were a terrible team. Exactly. One game that they beat Old Dominion, Pittsburgh, and Western Carolina. See, Pitt is bad. People saying Pitt is a good team. They're not. Okay. No. So yeah, let's move on. Who's your number 4?
Georgia Tech.
I have Duke.
I have Duke my number 3.
Oh, Duke at 3? Really? You know Georgia Tech actually finished, even though they had a bad year, they finished in 3rd in that division?
Yep.
Because they were actually good in the conference play.
Didn't they lose to Duke?
And they lost to Duke. Yeah, that was a fluke game. That was towards the end of the season. They kind of...
Seems like every game Georgia Tech loses is a fluke game.
No. No.
That's weird.
Give you, We lost to Clemson. That's
Okay.
weekend.
Number 5, Pitt,
Same thing. Pitt.
Virginia, and UNC.
I have UNC in Virginia. Virginia's own coach says they only have 27 ACC caliber players on their roster. He doesn't think they're going to be anything.
That's enough for a team.
People get hurt, okay? ACC caliber, that means it includes ACC caliber backups. That's nothing, okay? That's terrible. Here. Let's pull up their schedule. So they play with Richmond. I think they lose at Indiana. Indiana's a...
Yeah, see, I don't think really anyone's interested in what Virginia's going to do.
See, we're just talking about it. We're going to debate the bottom here. I think UNC...
But
beats
nobody
them.
cares about debating the bottom. It's the bottom.
So what? I mean, we debated the top. You know what? You're right. Screw Virginia. They won't win anything. 0-12. They lose to Liberty and Ohio and Richmond.
Miami of Ohio.
Yes, Miami. No, just Ohio. Ohio University.
It's always weird.
Ohio.
It's always weird when Ohio is worse than Ohio State. You know?
I mean, well, like, worse the program?
Yeah. No, it's like, I always thought it was funny how, like, just the straight state name is worse than this state, like, with Northeast State A&M Aggies.
Louisiana State University. LSU. Better than Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Lafayette. That's Louisiana. But so yeah.
It's weird. So I'm saying that
Virginia
it's going to
Tech.
be Virginia Tech against Clemson or Miami against Clemson.
I'm saying it's
On
going
the
to be...
slight off chance that Georgia Tech actually can do something
If they
this year.
replicate the 2014 year, they were coming off a bad year that year.
That's 4
It
years
can't happen.
ago.
It's so
Everybody that they had on that team is gone.
They're a bounce back school, though. I mean, really, they are. And the 2015 recruiting class, which everyone says was like best in Paul Johnson's history, they're all seniors, so they got some great leadership, especially on the offense. Got a very experienced offense, who put up some big numbers last year. The problem was the defense last year for Tech. They got a new defensive coordinator.
It's just hard when you have to. It's hard to win football games when you have to keep up a 3.9 GPA.
No, it's just hard. You don't know. You don't need to keep that up in
I
school.
mean, the only team.
No. I think you're misunderstanding. That's what you need to get in, not what you need to stay in school.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought they like. Okay.
No, you can just pass college normally. That's any school. You just have to.
You just have to pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to get in.
See,
there.
the only team that's actually been able to have success with their academic steep requirements is Stanford.
But they were terrible until recently. You know that, right?
I know, but like this is the first time that they've actually
You
been.
think Georgia Tech has had as much success as Stanford has?
Probably like a long time.
How many
ago.
national championships does Stanford have?
I
think
have
that's
no idea.
Exactly.
No, that's a Siri question, but I don't have it. Let's look it up. See, this is how
I will bet
experts
on
find things
like
out.
one. I think they might have had one great. They had John Elway. They were terrible. Jim Harbaugh. They were like 40-point underdogs against USC in 2007,
No way.
and they beat them. Yeah.
No, I mean football. Nobody cares about anything else.
Basketball.
Oh yeah, well that's true. And baseball sometimes.
Yeah, baseball. Volleyball, aka Calvin Ball. Eric Cook on the Wikipedia.
Here we go.
They got a good coach, David Shaw.
Yeah, they do. They really do. I think. See,
They're-
here's the thing.
They're such a boring team to watch. They got this mediocre white quarterback every year, and then they just hand it off to Bryce Love or Christian McCaffrey and have some big tight end that makes a lot of catches every single year.
National
And have good.
championships. Let's see. They won 2.
Good for them.
Yeah, they have 2.
Just as many as Georgia.
1926 and 1940. When was Georgia's second?
Well, their first.
Was 1918?
Something like that. Look it up. Look it up.
No, it doesn't really matter. But here's the important thing: Stanford has 2.
All right, there you go. In the
That's
ACC video.
That's the question answered. That's a good way to end the video. Although I think we both picked Clemson to win this.
Right.
Although I do think that Clemson is a little bit too favored by the polls. I don't think they deserve to be number 2.
They got a quarterback competition right now between two really elite quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence.
Why is it a competition? It's Kelly Bryant's gonna win.
Trevor Lawrence is a huge recruit. I mean, I think they say he's amazing.
Oh, and another thing I just want to
I
kind
think
of
Brian
say.
should win. I think he's
Everybody that says that Michigan's actually going to be good this year, Shea Patterson's not going to bring them anything.
I agree.
He's not that good. Okay, that was a good. That's a good end of the video.
No, we should do the other conferences. Just go through some.
Just
quick
all
videos.
of the okay.
No.
So who's gonna be in the championship for the Big Ten?
Well, not right now, like we do separate videos, or we could just.
Well, we could just say it right now. Just
Or
rattle
we
them
could-
off. All right. Big Ten. I'm gonna
It's
say
gonna be Wisconsin and
Wisconsin and
Penn State.
either Penn State or Michigan State.
or Ohio State. I mean,
Not
Ohio's
Ohio
only
State.
gone for 3 games. You
Which-
know they're
okay, here's the big problem. He can still coach during the week.
no,
He just can't be on the field.
Is
during
that
the
what
week.
they said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
really
it
nothing.
doesn't really matter.
Because
Okay,
all
the
you have
first
to
game-
do if you're head coaching during a game is give the speech before,
Right.
middle, and just kind of organize.
You
things.
organize everything. You're saying,
I know, but I think
hey,
that-
offense coordinator, I don't like what we're doing. Let's switch it up to this, and then the offense coordinator does it. He controls. He's the head. He's the
Yeah.
overseer of everything.
But
Okay, but their first game is against Oregon State.
still don't think it's
Oregon State is a Power 5 team. FPI says Ohio State has a 99% chance to win that game. That's more than Alabama did to beat Chattanooga.
Who cares about
I think it's
FBI? FBI's always.
I know, but it's yeah.
But it's just an
I
interesting.
mean, Oregon State went 1-11, barely beat Portland State last year.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So
I think Penn State or Michigan State. Penn State is going to beat Ohio State again this year.
I don't know what to think
I
of
have
Michigan
faith in
State.
Trace McSorley.
I don't know what to think about Michigan State though.
Michigan State, I think they're going to be pretty good. They have a lot of returning players from last year. Last year they made a bit of a run. They were kind of overlooked, and I think they're going to have a little bit more success there this year than they did last year.
Well, the year before, 2016, they went 3-9, right?
So either Penn State or Michigan State.
Last year they got destroyed by Notre Dame. Just absolutely crushed by Ohio State, 48-3, and lost to Northwestern. Other than that, they won everything. So they beat Penn State. Remember that last year they beat Penn State in that last second field goal, and then very next game they were high, and they got just steamrolled by Ohio State.
That was sad. Ohio State was so inconsistent last year.
Really?
So yeah, I'm gonna pick Wisconsin to win that
What do you mean by
conference.
inconsistent? I mean,
Wisconsin's gonna win the Big Ten. All right, moving on to the Pac.
well, I'm
12.
saying we should do this. No, we should do.
No, I know we're
this
just gonna rattle them off right now.
We should do this
I'm
in
just
separate
saying.
video. Why not? Let's just do it in a different video because we can make a short 10-minute video.
But then
We just milk it out. This should just stay with ACC.
just
Clemson wins the ACC championship against Virginia Tech, 35-24. There. Similar to what it was in.
Clemson wins
2016.
Virginia Tech. Okay, if it's Virginia Tech, I'm gonna say
No, see,
35-17
we call
or
it
34-17.
We gotta call them by their full name: Virginia Polytechnic Institute State University.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I'm serious. That's
Where
what-
do you go to school? Well,
I go to Virginia Polytechnic Institute State University.
okay,
VP, I assume.
that's
All right, and as always, but not really as always, we'll be back with some more videos, college football playoff video, and maybe.
hopefully go see them.
Yeah.
They'll appear okay, so you're watching the video. It's gonna be right there on the suggestions.
Hopefully.
It's gonna be right there.
Or we can
And
put
then
we can put the thing
click on
we
it.
can put the little thing on the top where where you can click and see the other videos.
Just it's that
It's
way. Okay,
somewhere,
it's
yeah.
over there. I think. Yeah, it's definitely
Unless
over
you're
there.
watching on
Click
mobile.
over there. You're gonna see the rest of our videos.
Unless you're on mobile, because then it will be down.
Oh yeah, if it's on mobile.
All right.
Stop
And
it.
as always, wait, we gotta stretch this out to 24 minutes. But not really as always.
Goodbye.
But